All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I told you guys the issues that were going to start arising once people realized that Nintendo of America was hiring for a DEI officer. They were hiring for someone that can oversee a DEI kind of like group within the company. And what ended up happening is that after that position was filled, now we are starting to see certain decisions be made that would not have been made otherwise, because let's be real, it's Nintendo. They don't usually do this stuff. Well, we have an article here from not only The Gamer, but we also have an article from That Park Place that showed two different stories regarding what's happening with the new Paper Mario remake, but obviously we know that the one from The Gamer is a complete lie.
Peter, I need you to hold my ears.
Now, the main thing everybody is talking about is the simple fact that Vivian, the character inside of Paper Mario, has been made officially trans in the new English translation. Now, the popular thing to do for these woke localizers is that they will take cross-dressing Japanese characters and they will make them into trans characters. They are two completely different things, and everybody who's out there must understand the difference. I am sure that there are trans people that are out there who are not disingenuous losers that understand that there is a difference between a cross-dressing male and an actual trans person. There is a big difference, especially when you are speaking culturally in the Japanese market versus the American market. It's completely fucking different. And for them to localize and translate and change a cross-dressing femboy, as they call them in Japan, to a trans person in America just goes to show that identity politics has taken over full force. So let's get into this article, guys, from The Gamer and That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, let's be very clear really quick. Let's touch on a bit of what The Gamer is actually talking about. It has a headline that says, after the original localization removed references to Vivian being trans, the Paper Mario remake adds it back in. None of this is true, by the way, and I'm going to show you exactly why that is. So if you scroll all the way down, it says here that this translation arguably makes it even clearer before, as she confirms that it took her time to realize she's a woman. In the original Japanese release, Vivian was often referred to as a woman. False, by the way, completely false, okay? The reason why she was referred to as a woman is because it was a male crossdresser. It was someone who was actively trying to showcase themselves as a female for whatever the reason may be, because they are a crossdresser, but they were not a trans person. A trans, like, you are just proving the fact that if you think putting on a dress and putting on a wig makes you trans, that is fucking hilarious, okay? Then it says, as per the Mario Wiki, the Italian localization said that she used to be a man, but now she's a woman and proud of it. However, this was completely removed in the English release, keeping her as a woman, but rewording any dialogue that suggested she was transgender. Now, you are trying to base the Italian translation, which is a localization of the Japanese content. You're not even referencing the original Japanese content. You said it disingenuously in the beginning that the original Japanese referred to her as a woman. Now let's go into this article from That Park Place and actually read what's going on here. So it says, Jonas Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, shared a screenshot from the upcoming game that features a dialogue from Vivian saying, "Truth is, it took me a while to realize I was their sister, not their brother. Now their usual bullying feels heavier." In the original English localization for Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, which was released in 2004 for GameCube, Vivian was depicted as a girl. However, as noted by YouTuber Short Fat Otaku during an appearance on Side Scrollers, the original Japanese version of the game describes the character as a otokonoko, or a femboy, basically a male who dresses up in women's clothing. Short Fat Otaku explains that while reading a post from Majin 1987, in the original party info and in the original game, the Gumbella's Tattlelog, it says that Vivian is a otokonoko, an effeminate male, otherwise known as a male daughter, or a femboy, or a trap. Not trans, that's a delusional headcanon. His catch card uses the same word, again, not trans. So, people, you need to realize that they are trying to showcase certain ideologies. They're desperate to make it a thing, especially here in the West, right? And this is the reason why Nintendo of America took it upon themselves to hire a DEI officer who is themselves probably trans. Let's just be real. So at the end of the day, they are taking things that don't actually mean it and they're changing it to mean it. And that's why they are going insane to try to make this into a thing with revisionist history. This is not a trans character. This is a male cross-dressing character. It's a femboy. There are two totally different things. And culturally speaking, two totally different cultures. So you are trying to take one culture and spin it here when it gets localized in the West because you really want this character to be trans. When you see a cross-dresser, you automatically assume trans, which is ridiculous because they are two totally different things. I'll keep saying it until you get it through your fucking head. They are two totally different things. Next, Short Fat Otaku shared the catch card, which reads, one of Mario's partners introduced in Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door. A cute boy, keyword boy, wielding fire magic who was once part of a group of enemies known as a Shadow Trio. This is not the first time that Nintendo had changed the localization team made to remake of the Paper Mario Thousand-Year Door. The game completely changed dialogue at the beginning of the game when Mario and Goombella are confronted by a number of Goombas. Now, we already went over that previous change in this game, so it's not surprising to see yet another DEI change inside of Paper Mario. And let's be real, like I said, guys, I told you from the beginning, the moment you saw that job listing from Nintendo for a DEI officer, there is nothing good that was going to come from this. Now, what ends up happening is that they make these changes so that shills like this over at The Gamer, who wrote this, Rhiannon Bevan or whatever, yeah, I'm not surprised. Shills like this can go out there and lie about it and say, oh yeah, well, this is the character just being reaffirmed in their identity because it was deleted, so many years ago, and now it's come back. Like, no, that's not the case. It was never a trans character. It never will be a trans character. And you're only now making it as such because it fits your narrative. That's really what this is. This is the prime example of narrative building. You guys like to say that, oh, we make it up. No. This is literal narrative building. You are taking something that wasn't there, putting something that now you want to put in there, and you're trying to spin an entire fucking narrative around it. Vivian is a male that dresses up as a female. End of story. And that is not a trans person. That is not a trans character. And now you're trying to make it as such, and you got caught, and now you're mad about it. There's people all over the internet on Twitter raging over the fact that people are trying to deny Vivian's gender identity. Can you imagine that being a thing? Denying a fucking character in Paper Mario's gender identity? That's how much, that's how desperate you are for any superficial form of representation that you're willing to take it in Paper Mario. That's where you want to see gender identity? Paper fucking Mario? It's ridiculous, man. So at the end of the day, man, Nintendo's paying someone, what do you think, maybe $300,000 a year to be a DEI officer, absolutely blowing money, wasting it, and they're utilizing it to try to raise their ESG scores. It's only a matter of time before they start getting even more and more ridiculous with it. This is only the beginning, I promise you, but I highly doubt that this is going to affect Nintendo's actual mainstay titles, right? Like, Mario is a mainstay title, so I'm actually kind of surprised to see it in a game like this, but once it starts infecting games like Zelda, Metroid, and whatnot, or even Super Smash, then I think we're going to probably start having a problem. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.